Hey y'all, welcome back. I created this cute bomb look with a pop of blue. We're going to get into it, but before we do, I hope you subscribe, like, and continue to watch my channel. Bye. All right, so we're gonna do a voice over this time. I feel like this is a lot quicker for me to create, and my videos are not so long. So first, we are going into the Pat McGrath eyeshadow palette, and I am just using your basic brown natural eyeshadow. It's nothing special about it. You just want to find something that you like to use as what we call a transitional shade. And I always go with a brown shade. And I am just using that eyeshadow brush and I'm just patting in that color. When you pat, you get more of a pigment shade than versus swiping. Then I use the same Pat McGrath eyeshadow palette and I just go in with a darker brown shade. And that's the only two shadows that I use for this eye to create this look. Just a light brown eyeshadow at the top for my transitional shade and a dark brown at the eyelid base. And I just kind of blend the two brown shades together just to create this bomb easy look. And as you see, I'm speeding up the video. This probably took me maybe about 30 minutes, 40 minutes to create this. But you see, I'm talking to my kids, so that just slows me down, period. But I speed up the process. You'll see me kind of fast forward it a little bit. But basically, I'm just going back and forth between the two eyeshadow colors that I told you about. And if you know, you know, I take my makeup remover wipe and I just go to the edge of the eye and I just take it to the top just to give a quick line on the eyeshadow to clean it up basically. And then for foundation, I use the Danessa Myricks. Let's see, this is the Serum Skin Tint in shade number 13. And you see me, I just basically apply it directly to the face. I do moisturizer and primer, but I didn't record on this video because I feel like you guys seen it so many times. I use the same products that always works. But I'm using the Morphe brush and I'm just pushing in that skin tint into my face. I'm not swiping, I'm just really pushing it down. And do not forget to always bring the foundation or the skin tint down to the neck so you don't have that that mask looking makeup look. So I'm using my favorite concealer by Born This Way in the shade Maple. And I just apply it to the same areas, under the eyes, under the nose, the chin, the forehead, and the brim of the nose. And I am using the Cream Contour in NARS in Laguna number 5. And I'm just using my Real Technique brush. And I just feel like this contour shade has gotten a little bit dark on me. But always remember, I didn't do it as you see. Always start off at the high cheekbone, closer to your hairline, and then bring it down to your face so it's not so dark in the front. But I just blended it out and I use my foundation brush. You'll see me use my foundation right there. I'm using that foundation brush just to kind of not make it look so dark and harsh in the front. But always start off at the front by the hairline and then bring it down. And then you just blend it in with your brush. Now I'm using my Real Technique setting brush and I am just buffing out my concealer. I always start off with my chin and then I go to my under my nose area and then I go to under my eyes, but I only do the edges. I blend out the edges, and you just have to really take your time. You know, sometimes you're in a rush, but if you do this slowly, you'll make the face look beat. So I do the edges first, then I do the forehead, and then I do the bridge of the nose, and then I go into the inner corner of the eyes. I say that last to allow that concealer to thicken to give a really good full coverage. And then I always go over it with the sponge afterwards just to pick up any extra product that could be sitting on my face. So I'll kind of go back and forth between the sponge and the brush before I set it. But as you know, I'm always going back to my one size in translucent. This has a chokehold on me because, baby, it does what it's supposed to do, okay? So I always use my triangle puff. I take it to the one size. I pounce it in the one size setting powder. Then I pounce it on my hand just to get rid of any excess of powder. Because you don't want to go in directly from the powder to your face because this is going to be too much. So pat it on your hand first or pat it on another area first and then apply it to your skin. And then you just want to push it in. Push it in, take your time, push in that setting powder, and you'll see it blend in and just mesh well with your skin. And as you see, it's basically disappearing in the concealer. Again, it is a brightener, so it's going to make my under eye and all the areas that I conceal kind of a brightened color. So if you don't want such a bright color, they have so many different shades. They also have deep shade. If you're like my complexion and you don't want the brightness, you can use the deep. I use that to cover my entire face. But anyways, I am baking on my nose. That's the only area that I bake. I let that sit for a couple minutes and then I eventually buff it out. But I am using my Morphe palette and I'm pointing to the color that I'm using and I use that shade to bronze. I'm basically going over that NARS Laguna that we applied, the cream contour. I'm going over that area because you think everything that's liquid or cream, you must set it with a setting powder or you have to set it with the powder or it's going to move in place and it's going to be all oily looking and it's just not going to look good. So I'm just taking my brush and I'm just kind of going over the entire area on my face where I use that NARS. So I'm using my same black opal shade in Bronze Boot, and I am just basically contouring my nose just to give my nose a snatch, skinny look. I take an angle brush and I just take it from the front of my eyebrows and I bring it all the way down to the tip of my nose. And then after I finish that, I take the same one size in translucent and I reverse contour my nose and my cheekbones, and that just makes your face and your nose look snatched. Okay, now I must set my entire face. I usually set it with a foundation powder. This time I am using the one size. Let me see, this is the one size in dark 1 and I'm just going over the entire face. You'll see me kind of, and when I go underneath my cheekbones with that translucent setting powder, I never allow it to sit on my face for a long time because it gives that sharp line that I don't like. So once I apply that, then I go in with my foundation powder. So I just went over it with the one size. Now I went back to my setting brush from Real Technique, and I didn't use any extra product, and I just buffed out that extra or the setting part that we applied to under my eyes. Then you see me use my Mocha Mami and Fenty, and I'm just kind of going over the bronze area that we use the what did I use? The NARS Laguna and the Morphe eyeshadow. And here we are now applying that pop of blue to under my eyes. I first go in the Urban Decay in shade white. When you apply a white first, it allows the color to pop out more versus when you go in with just the color. So apply the white first, and then I use my Sephora eyeliner. It's just a blue shade, and I go over that white area. Again, you want to use the white first because it allows that color to pop. Alright, so I go to my Morphe blue palette and I'm pointing to the color, the eyeshadow color that I do decide to just bring down that eyeliner shade. And I just take that blue and I just go underneath my eye just to, make the eye pop out more with the blue color. So I'm using another Morphe palette and I point to you that shiny light blue color and I just use that for my inner corner pop. So I'm using the One Size Cheek Clapper in Fire Starter. And I just take that orange powder. I don't use the cream and I don't use the highlighter shade. I'm only using the powder. And I take it to my upper cheekbones. And now I'm setting the face with the One Size Until Dawn spray. And this allows any liquid to be minimized to the makeup, okay? It keeps the face in place and allows, no oily or no watering eyes to affect the makeup. I did line my lips with the Buxom Plumping Lip Liner in chocolate. And then I'm using that Sephora lipstick in this bright orange shade. Don't worry, it'll calm down with my L'Oreal orange color lip gloss. And you see me, I just apply just very little and then I pat it into my liner. And then this is the orange gloss that I'm going to go over the lipstick with. I learned with doing makeup, you just kind of have to take your time and just trust the process, okay? So after applying the gloss, I'm like, I feel like I lost my lip liner in the midst of the lipstick and the gloss. So I apply a little bit more liner here in the lip. But this is the final look. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned. I hope you put on some makeup with me just to apply to your face. Stay tuned, comment below, and let me know what else you want to see.